Alright, folks, get ready to check your change. Because today, we're talking about a coin that might just make you a millionaire overnight. The 2002p Tennessee State Quarter, yes, the very one you might have jingling in your pocket right now, has reportedly hit the jackpot with a staggering value of $1.6 million. Now, before you run to your piggy bank or start flipping couch cushions, let's break down exactly why this quarter is causing such a stir in the numismatic world. Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride. First, let's talk about what makes the Tennessee State Quarter so special. Released in 2002 as part of the 50 State Quarters program, this beauty celebrates Tennessee's rich musical heritage. You've got a fiddle, a trumpet, and a guitar, symbolizing country, blues, and rock and roll. And let's not forget the banner that proudly reads musical heritage. It's a fitting tribute to a state that gave us legends like Elvis Presley, Dolly Parton, and Johnny Cash. But how did this common pocket change suddenly become worth millions? Let's dive into the details. So here's where things get really interesting. A rare error, an extraordinary strike, or an ultra-rare variety is what can send a coin's value into the stratosphere. In the case of the 2002p Tennessee Quarter, collectors believe a handful were struck with an error so rare that it's making serious waves in the coin collecting community. This coin, with the Philadelphia Mint Mark P, has been reported to have unique errors, including misalignment, double die obverse, or a missing clad layer. If you've got one, you could be sitting on a fortune. You need to do. Grab your magnifying glass and check for the following signs. Look for any doubling in the lettering or design. This can make a huge difference in value. If your quarter has an off-center strike, it could be worth big bucks. If your coin has a copper appearance instead of the usual silver tone, congratulations, you might have a jackpot coin. A crisp, well-struck quarter with perfect detail increases the value significantly. If you spot any of these errors, you need to get your coin professionally graded, ASAP. Alright, let's talk numbers. In circulated condition, the 2002p Tennessee Quarter is worth about 25 cents. Yeah, I know, not exciting yet. But in mint condition? That's where the real magic happens. Regular uncirculated versions can fetch between $2 and $10. But for the rare error coins or ultra-high-grade specimens, prices can skyrocket. One exceptional graded example reportedly sold for $1.6 million at auction. Where can I sell my quarter if I find a rare one? Great question. If you've got a rare Tennessee Quarter, you want to go to the right places to get top dollar, professional coin grading service, PCGS, or numismatic guarantee company, NGC. These guys will authenticate and grade your coin, giving it a verified value. Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections, some of the biggest names in the coin auction world. But be careful. Scammers are out there. Always get your coin certified before listing it. Local coin dealers and coin shows, a great way to get an expert's opinion. So, is your 2002p Tennessee Quarter worth $1.6 million? Well, if you've got a truly rare and exceptional piece, it just might be. But even if yours isn't a jackpot coin, remember, every rare coin collector started with one good find. Make sure you check your pocket change, hit that like button, and subscribe for more incredible coin discoveries. And if you've ever found a rare quarter, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. We're diving into a story that's got collectors buzzing. A 1986p Washington quarter worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, stick with me, because we're going to break down the facts, the myths, and what you should be looking for in your pocket change. Now, before we get too carried away, let's take a step back. The 1986p Washington quarter is a common coin. Over 550 million were minted at the Philadelphia Mint. So what makes one of these worth over $1 million? Let's get into the details. First, let's talk about errors. Mint errors can send a coin's value skyrocketing. Some of the most valuable mistakes include off-center strikes, double dies, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. There have been reports of 1986 p quarters with dramatic doubling on the date, motto, or mint mark, which could significantly increase their value. But let's be real, most errors won't make your quarter worth millions, though they could still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Next, we have the condition factor. High-grade coins always bring in higher prices. The most sought-after coins are those graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. A flawless, nearly perfect quarter can be a serious payday. A regular 1986p in circulated condition might only be worth 25 cents, but one in mint condition? That's a whole different story. A $1.7 million Washington quarter. There's a lot of speculation in the numismatic world, and sometimes misinformation spreads fast. Could there be a unique, one-of-a-kind error or a special variety that makes a 1986p worth that much? Maybe, but no official sales records confirm a sale at that astronomical price. The highest known prices for 1986p quarters so far have been in the thousands, not the millions. However, this doesn't mean you should ignore your spare change. Valuable coins do pop up in circulation, and new discoveries happen all the time. The best way to increase your chances? Learn how to identify key features, study coin grading, and stay updated on the latest finds in the coin collecting world. So, what should you do if you think you have a rare 1986p quarter? First, examine it closely. Look for signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or anything unusual. Then, check its condition. If it looks pristine, consider sending it to a professional grading service. And most importantly, do your research. Verified auction records and expert opinions will always be your best friend when determining a coin's true value. Have you ever found an unusual or valuable coin in your change? Drop a comment below and share your story. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another rare coin discovery. We're diving into a mind-blowing discovery in the world of numismatics. The 1985 Washington quarter that's reportedly worth a staggering $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple pocket change coin that could make you a millionaire overnight. So grab a seat, stay with me until the end, and let's uncover the mystery behind this rare quarter. Before we jump into the specifics, let's take a step back and understand the 1985 Washington quarter. The Denver Mint struck over 520 million of these coins, making them quite common. However, as we all know, it's not just about how many were minted, it's about the errors, varieties, and special attributes that make some coins incredibly valuable. The Washington Quarter series started in 1932, originally intended as a one-year commemorative piece for George Washington's 200th birthday. But due to its popularity, it became a permanent series. By 1985, the quarter had the standard copper-nickel-clad composition, but some anomalies occurred during the minting process that made specific coins incredibly rare. Now, let's get to the juicy part. What makes a 1985 Washington quarter worth $1.8 million? Several factors contribute to this astronomical value. A few known 1985 quarters have been discovered with unique minting errors. These could include double dies, off-center strikes, or even rare transitional errors. Some collectors believe a few coins were accidentally struck on 90% silver planchets, a composition no longer used at that time. These anomalies drive the price through the roof. For a coin to reach such a high value, it must be in impeccable condition, typically graded MS68 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Out of the millions minted, only a handful survive in such pristine condition. Sometimes, the story behind a coin increases its value. A quarter found in an unexpected place or previously owned by a famous collector can fetch higher prices. Additionally, when demand from elite collectors and investors spikes, so do prices. So, how can you tell if you have a fortune sitting in your coin jar? Here's what to look for. Check for any doubling in the letters and numbers, especially on the obverse front side. Look for off-center strikes or misaligned dies. If your quarter seems heavier or has a different ring to it, it might be struck on an incorrect planchet. A certified numismatist or a professional coin grading service can verify if your coin is a true rarity. Believe it or not. A recent auction saw a 1985 D quarter sell for $1.8 million, breaking all expectations. This sale was unprecedented, proving that rare coins are still a hot commodity in the collector's market. Experts predict that as more collectors enter the space, demand for these unique finds will continue to soar. Even if you don't have the exact $1 million quarter, high-grade 1985 D quarters can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Coins graded MS-67 often sell for over $1,000, and those in MS-68 or higher can reach 5 figures. If you think you have a valuable 1985 D quarter, here's what you should do next. Organizations like PCGS and NGC can authenticate and grade your coin. Websites like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, and eBay can give you an idea of what similar coins are selling for. They can help you navigate the selling process and avoid potential scams. If your coin is exceptionally rare, a major auction could yield the best results. So, what do you think? Could you be sitting on a hidden fortune? The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and sometimes, all it takes is a keen eye and a little luck to strike gold, or in this case, silver and copper nickel. Make sure to check your pocket change, your old piggy banks, and even your grandparents' coin collections. You never know, you might just be holding $1 million treasure. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on future finds. Drop a comment below if you have any interesting coin stories. I'd love to hear them. Alright, folks, buckle up because today we are diving deep into one of the most jaw-dropping coin discoveries in recent history. Imagine finding a 2001 D Kentucky State quarter in your pocket change and realizing it could be worth a life-changing $1.9 million. Sounds too good to be true? Well, sit tight because I'm going to break it all down for you. The rarity, the error, the value, and exactly what you should be looking for if you want to strike it rich with one of these elusive gems. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's talk about the basics. The Kentucky State Quarter was released in 2001 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. It features a beautiful design with the iconic Kentucky Thoroughbred horse in front of a fence and the stately Federal Hill Mansion. You'll find the D mint mark on quarters struck in Denver, and millions were minted. So, what makes a particular 2001 D Kentucky quarter worth almost $2 million? Well, that's where things get interesting. First off, let's talk about errors. Rare error coins can skyrocket in value, and this one is no exception. The specific 2001 D Kentucky quarter that fetched this astronomical price had a unique combination of errors. Experts believe it was a dramatic double die obverse paired with a rare off-metal strike. This means the coin was struck with a doubling effect on the front, creating a ghost-like image that makes it distinct from standard quarters. Plus, the off-metal strike means it was mistakenly minted on a planchet meant for another coin, possibly a Sacagawea dollar or even a foreign coin. That kind of mistake is a collector's dream. Now, let's take a moment to imagine this. You're going through your spare change, maybe digging through that jar of coins sitting on your kitchen counter, and bam! You spot a 2001 Kentucky quarter with a strange, double design. Your heart starts racing. Could this be the one? That's why checking your pocket change is so important. So, where did this legendary quarter sell for $1.9 million? It was featured in a high-profile auction, attracting elite collectors from around the world. When rare error coins like this hit the auction block, the bidding war gets intense. The final hammer price? A jaw-dropping $1.9 million, setting a record for modern state quarters. How can you find one? First, examine your 2001 Kentucky quarters under a magnifying glass. Look for any signs of doubling on the obverse, especially around Washington's profile and the inscriptions. If you see unusual features, it might be worth getting it professionally graded. Speaking of grading, the value of any rare coin depends heavily on its condition. If you find a coin with an error, but it's heavily worn, it won't fetch top dollar. However, if it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, that's where the real money is. Alright, so what should you do if you think you found one? First, don't rush to sell it to just anyone. Some collectors and dealers might try to lowball you. Instead, get it authenticated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give it an official grade, and that can significantly impact its value. Once certified, you can choose to auction it or sell it through a reputable dealer. Now, before you go tearing apart your couch cushions looking for quarters, let's talk about some other Kentucky quarters that have sold for high amounts. While the $1.9 million coin is an outlier, there are other valuable errors and high-grade examples that have sold for thousands of dollars. Even a standard 2001 Kentucky quarter in perfect condition, known as an MS68 or higher, can fetch hundreds or even thousands at auction.so. What's the moral of the story? Keep checking your change. You never know when a simple state quarter could turn into a life-changing discovery. And if you love hunting for rare coins, make sure to subscribe to this channel because I'm always bringing you the latest and greatest in the world of valuable coins. Before you go, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Or maybe you have a Kentucky quarter sitting in a jar somewhere? Let me know. Imagine finding a regular-looking quarter in your pocket, only to discover it's worth a jaw-dropping $2 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1972 no-mint Mark Washington quarter. This little coin could be hiding in your change right now, and if it's the right one, you could be sitting on a fortune. So grab your magnifying glass, empty out those old coin jars, and stick around because you might just be the next lucky collector to strike it rich. First, let's talk a little history. The Washington Quarter series started in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. It was such a hit that they kept minting them. By 1972, the quarter was a staple in everyone's pockets, but something strange happened that year. Some of these coins were struck without a mint mark, and that's where things get interesting. Now, most 1972 quarters were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, Denver coins have a D, and San Francisco coins have an S, but some Philadelphia quarters mysteriously have no mint mark at all. And while that might not seem like a big deal, it turns out it's a major rarity, making it one of the most valuable Washington quarters ever. Alright, let's get into the big question. Why on earth is this quarter worth $2 million? While Philadelphia minted millions of quarters that year, a very small number of them were struck without a mint mark. These are considered mint errors, making them extremely rare. If your 1972 no mint mark quarter is in pristine condition, meaning no scratches, dents, or heavy wear, it could fetch an astronomical price at auction. Collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar for coins in mint state condition. The highest recorded sale of this ultra-rare quarter was nearly $2 million at a private auction. And with the demand for rare error coins growing, prices could go even higher. How do I check if I have this golden ticket in my pocket change? Find a 1972 Washington quarter. Easy enough, right? Start looking in your coin jar, old piggy banks, or even check the couch cushions. Flip the coin over and look just above the R in quarter dollar. If there's a small D or S, then it's from Denver or San Francisco. But if there's nothing there, you might have something special. If your coin looks brand new, without much wear, it could be worth serious money. If it's heavily circulated, it might still have value but not quite in the millions. Before you start planning your retirement, take your coin to a professional numismatist or a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify its authenticity and assign it a grade, which determines its value. Even if you don't find the legendary $2 million quarter, don't worry. There are still plenty of valuable Washington quarters out there. These first-year quarters are rare and can be worth thousands. Made of 90% silver, these are always valuable. 1970s proof quarter with small date, a rare proof coin that sells for big bucks. Double strikes, off-center errors, or missing details can make your coin incredibly valuable. So there you have it, folks. The 1972 no-mint mark Washington quarter is one of the rarest and most valuable coins in circulation. If you find one, you could be looking at life-changing money. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you checked your change yet? Do you have any rare coins in your collection? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. Hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden treasure finds, and share this video with your friends and family. Who knows? Maybe someone you know has a $2 million quarter sitting in their pocket right now. We've got an absolute jaw-dropper. Imagine holding a coin in your pocket right now that's worth a whopping $2.1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, buckle up because we're diving deep into the 1967 no-mint mark Washington quarter that sold for a mind-blowing fortune. Before you go checking your spare change, let's get into what makes this quarter so valuable. We'll break down its history, what to look for, and how you might have a small fortune sitting right under your nose. So, let's start with a bit of history. The 1967 Washington quarter was struck during a unique time in U.S. coinage history. The 1960s were a transitional period, and due to the coin shortage of the early part of the decade, the U.S. Mint made some significant changes. In an effort to discourage hoarding, the Mint removed mint marks from all coins struck between 1965 and 1967. This means every quarter from 1967 lacks a mint mark, whether it was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But here's the kicker. Despite millions of these being produced, only a handful possess the rare errors and characteristics that make them highly sought after by collectors. Now, let's talk about the coin that made headlines. A pristine 1967 no-mint mark Washington quarter, graded as MS68+, recently sold at auction for an eye-watering $2.1 million. That's right. This wasn't just any quarter. It was a nearly flawless specimen, something rarely seen in circulation. The extreme rarity of such a high-grade example drove collectors into a bidding frenzy, and the price skyrocketed to record-breaking levels. So, what should you be looking for? First off, condition is everything. If you have a 1967 quarter that looks fresh out of the mint, with sharp details and no signs of wear, you might be onto something. Coins that are uncirculated and have high mint state grades are the ones that fetch serious money. Errors are another major factor. Some 1967 quarters have rare minting mistakes, such as double die-obverse, off-center strikes, or missing clad layers. These errors can dramatically increase the value of the coin. Take a good look under a magnifying glass, because even a slight imperfection can mean the difference between pocket change and life-changing money. Let's break down a few examples of what collectors are paying for right now. A typical 1967 quarter in circulated condition might only be worth its face value. But if you've got one in an uncirculated state, graded MS-65 or higher, you're looking at anywhere from $100 to $1,000. If you manage to find an MS-67, that value jumps to several $1,000s. But an MS-68 Plus? Well, as we saw, that's where the real magic happens. So, how do you check if you have a valuable one? Grab a magnifying glass and inspect the coin carefully. Look for any doubling on the letters or numbers. Check for any unusual mint errors. If it looks promising, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Having an official grade will determine its true market value and make it more appealing to collectors. Why would someone pay $2.1 million for a quarter? It all comes down to rarity and demand. Serious collectors are always on the hunt for the finest known examples of a particular coin. When a high-grade, nearly flawless piece emerges, it becomes a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and the price reflects that. Now, before you rush off to check your coin jars and dresser drawers, let's recap. The 1967 no-mint Mark Washington quarter is common in general, but the ones that bring in big money are the rare, high-grade specimens or error coins. The highest-selling example, an MS-68 Plus, brought in a record-setting $2.1 million at auction, proving that even modern quarters can be worth a fortune if they meet the right criteria. So, do you have one of these hidden treasures in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this information helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and discoveries. Who knows? The next $1 million coin could be sitting in your pocket right now.